Hi everyone, coming to you with a video on goldenrod. And earlier Kati and I were out harvesting, and there's a couple things we'd like to show you because right now is the time to harvest goldenrod, also known as solidago. There are different types of goldenrod. There is sweet goldenrod, there's Canadian, and this is your common goldenrod, which is right here. And as you can see, we harvested a nice bundle because we prepare medicines for the whole winter for you, our customers, and for our families, and it's very essential. We were seeing goldenrod arrive in July, the end of July, and in August is when the ragweed started coming up with it. Over the last couple weeks, ragweed has bloomed. And some of you might have noticed as it gets colder that you have more clear sinus, running, itchy eyes, kind of a little congestion in the chest. And it could just be from the allergies of lots of ragweed in your area, because you will find lots of goldenrod. If you see goldenrod everywhere, equal amounts of ragweed are in that area as well too. So the first thing that we like about goldenrod is harvesting it is pretty simple, and you can see goldenrod gets 6 to 8 feet tall, somewhere around 4, and you'll see a lot of bees on the ones that still have open flowers that the bees and wasps and the insects are gathering the last of their food for the winter. So when you get into an area where there's a lot of goldenrod, you want to be respectful of what you harvest, and anything that has more new looking foliage coming up, to leave it alone. But to also be aware of that when you see, as you can see here, that's expired. So just the tip itself, this is still very good. The clusters of flowers are nice and tight. So this is really a good specimen to be harvesting at this time for your allergy and winter needs, and we'll go back to that runny nose. So goldenrod can be used as a tea, and it can be used as a tincture, and we also make an oil with it. When you harvest your goldenrod, we just rubber band it. We hang it upside down. We don't cut it to the ground. This is way up high, so we just cut maybe a quarter of the stem down of the goldenrod. This is great for kids as well too, that have the runny nose and the itchy eyes and a little congestion. Is goldenrod is supreme at drying up that secretion, and it acts very fast. So you would take a small amount like this, and you would, off that same stem, grab some leaves, just a small amount off that stem, and this would make 2 cups of tea. And it has a very light flavor to it, very nice. This is where children like it. You could serve it to them at room temperature, so it's not too hot and not too cold. And after consuming a cup or 2 of this, you can start feeling the drying up of the runny nose. So this is a really good way you yourself, if you're out harvesting for it, can prepare it as a simple tea, no sugar, no honey. Keep that out of there. You don't need it. It's such a nice, pleasant tea, very gentle. And you can drink that tea as often as you want. Probably, I would say, you wouldn't need no more than 3 to 4 cups a day. It would be great if you consumed it at nighttime, so the secretions dry up before you lay down. And that way, that doesn't, running of the sinuses doesn't get into the ears where you get the wet ear feeling, guys. You know what I'm talking about. I had that this morning. This was in my tea. And, or the runny nose or itchy eyes, can keep the lungs cleared. So that's just for the allergies that we have right now. And also, before I go into winter, why you want it for during the winter, women who have UTIs, urinary tract infections. This is a really nice flower to add into your tea that may have corn silk and bearberry, also known as Urviusa. I probably said that backwards. I call it bearberry. Erva UC. Boom. And to help with UTIs, along with the Uzia. And really helps clear up, keep the kidneys clear as well too. So it deals with sinus, chest, and the kidney care. So that would be a simple tea. You can add it to other herbs if you're a connoisseur like I am, and blend all different herbs as what my needs are. And children really love it. I do this for my grandchildren. It's very simple and effective. So with that being said, let's say winter, it gets cold and we're in flu and cold season. We're heading into it. And that runny nose starts happening in the green mucus and the lung congestion. This is the start. It does help break up all that mucus in the lungs. So this can be added to your tea to help dispel out that extra moisture and mucus from the lungs and from the sinuses. With that, I wanted to tell you something too. It takes a little longer with tea. This is a simple, effective way, especially if you have tea hanging or the goldenrod hanging at home. I kind of want to talk about this before I go to the next one. So I want to show you the difference. So if you harvest, now this is fresh, guys. The flowers haven't completely opened, and these will be nice clusters that will dry very nicely during the winter months by just hanging it. But once it starts drying, you want to place it into a paper bag because it will fall off. And now this is last year's, so you can see this was end of the season, and this is fluff. You see that? So you're not going to get medicinal purposes if you harvest at the end of the season. Today, in the next week, is probably the most optimal time to be out harvesting your goldenrod. Take a little time and get out there. You don't want this because there's a little bit on the end there that I might be able to use, and the leaves, if you end up with this, you at least have the leaves that you could work with, and it works just as well as the flowers. So there's another process that can be done with goldenrod, and that's tincturing. And we have our goldenrod sinus relief, which is a tincture that we make here in our lab and in our beautiful wolf shop. I call it the Wolf's Den. This is easy to carry around with you if you don't like teas or can't consume teas. All you have to do is put a dropper full on your tongue, swallow it, wait 15 minutes. If your nose is still running, do another dropper full, and you will have 3 to 4 hours of beautiful relief with no runny nose, no itchy eyes, no light headache that comes with the seasonal allergies. This also can be used for children when dropped 1 drop per 10 pounds and placed into a little warm water to dissipate the alcohol. So we do sell this on the website. So if you know how to tincture, you'll want to use an organic vodka to tincture, and you would tincture up flowers and you would do the leaves. I would give it a couple days for it to wilt before you tincture it. So bugs like to stay on here. So I'll leave this outside and let some of the bugs go back into its natural environment before we start tincturing this up. So that is one beautiful way to work with medicines of it. We have the tea and we have the tincture process for goldenrod to save it and not end up with this. The other really lovely thing that we do with goldenrod is we make an extraction in organic oil. I have found that extracting it into oil and applying it to areas of need where, like the ankles, like if someone has an ankle surgery and they have edema and swelling going on, by applying the goldenrod oil, which is this right here. Oh, that's the tincture. This one right here, and that's on our website under pain relief, helps bring down the swelling of your extremity area, like ankles and fingers and neck. Really have a hard time with healing because there's no circulation getting to that areas. So by applying this goldenrod oil, some of you will feel a little tingling sensation, and that is the circulation coming into that area. It's a pretty cool feeling. It doesn't burn, it doesn't hurt. It's very lovely because you know healing's getting into the area that is just totally coagulated and not getting its needs. So this is really one of very lovely, gentle earth medicine to help the extremity areas, the ankles, the fingers, the neck area. I know people who use it who have like lupus and other autoimmune deficiencies to help with areas where they might have some circulatory inflammation and where they can't get the blood flow going. So really sweet medicine, guys. So this is goldenrod, solidago. This is your common. And as you go more north, you'll find your Canadian, which is huge and beautiful. And sweet goldenrod, which has a more sweeter flavor when you drink. And those are in whorls. They have like kind of whorls on the stem. But this is it, guys. And on this beautiful October 1st of our fall, of this beautiful month of harvesting these yellow, gorgeous flowers that are feeding the last of our winged ones and for us for medicine. So I wish everyone a happy October. Thank you.